Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, back in the studio on a Tuesday morning. You know, I didn't think it could get any better for me after watching John Elway have to hand over the Vince Lombardi Trophy to my team. We've got more wins in the AFC West than he does now. We got more. It was just so great. It was the best way to end that season after winning a back-to-back Super Bowl. But then yesterday, it's a real nice day outside. Kids playing outside. I was actually reading a book, and I got a notification. I heard my phone go off. I thought it was some text, and I look and I go, $85 million of dead money. That is a record times 2. Let me give you a hand, Denver Broncos country. Let's ride
but
to the bank.
Is better than what they could have had. Now, they're caught between the rock and the hard place with this one. The Denver Broncos released Russell Wilson yesterday. It doesn't take place until I thought it was the business day, first day of business, 13th? But it's not. It's the 17th that they're going to make it work. But that's irrelevant. They would, if he was on this roster then, on the 17th of March, they owed him $37 million on a $39 million contract that's already guaranteed. The $37 million wasn't. So they're saving that. But by releasing him, they have $85 million in dead cap space, and that's really nothing they can do about until he is signing with somebody else, and maybe they absorb a little bit of that. But it's in Denver's ballpark right now, $85 million. I don't know how they're going to solve that.
I don't either. But now let's talk about this. It's interesting because he could land as a starter. It's definitely feasible, and if he's got that competitive spirit in him and he wants to go out and compete, I get it. But also now, if you look at it, how much money he's going to be making every year, that's starting quarterback pay, right?
Oh, yeah.
Why not just go be a backup, get signed, or like a no deal to a team like the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Eagles.
Because that's not his...
that's kind of... But try to get that ring and not have to do nothing, get paid. Who cares?
Now, Russell Wilson has an ego, and he's pretty good at parlaying that. He's pretty good at commercial pitch man and all that sort of thing. I think, in my opinion, he goes to the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones who need a quarterback. They're a good quarterback, removed from being a contending team. They're that good. Good running backs, great line play, but no QB. When Matt Ryan left, they've been scuffling along. Russell Wilson with them could really make a big difference, but he has other choices. I think the Las Vegas Raiders could probably use him. I don't think that's going to happen.
If they're smart, it won't.
Well, the Miami Dolphins, even though they have Tua back there, they're not particularly pleased with what he has done, and so forth and so on. The Patriots, the Steelers, these are all teams with whom I'm quite sure Russell Wilson's going to be negotiating when that's allowed, which is his agent will go to work on the 11th, which is next Monday. And then the 13th is the opening of the National Football League business day, or business year, I should say. And Wilson will be out and about, and I think he plays as a starting quarterback with somebody.
Yeah, well, if he wants to protect his brain, maybe he should just take that backup job, get paid, and not have to worry about it. See also Chad Henne, which is a very smart man, and he's got a Super Bowl ring. Maybe not as much money.
Greatest deal going.
But you don't have to worry about forgetting where he is in a couple years. Last but not least, the Bears are heading for St. Louis for some tournament action.
Yeah, I would think they leave a little bit later on today because all the teams, and they're all 12 are playing, will be allowed practice days tomorrow at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis. And while that seems like, well, who cares? That's no big deal. Practice, it is a big deal because the Enterprise Center has different configurations. And you have to understand basketball. When you're down on the floor, you get used to a certain setting and you know how to release the ball and so forth and so on. Well, they haven't played in Enterprise Center, none of these teams, and it'll take some getting used to with the surrounding elements the way they are. But a day will do it, and I think the Bears have a pretty good chance in their first game. Who knows what might happen? A tournament, anything can explode, and sometimes does.
Well, Ned, Speaking of explosions, that lightning and thunder wake you up last night?
It did.
Oh my God, it shook my whole core, and I haven't been asleep since. We're talking about what we would do with $85 million. I'll tell you what, not sign Russell Wilson. All right, so if I did have $85 million, some of that would be going to L'Jarius Sneed to keep him in Kansas City. Unfortunately, I don't. But they've got the non-exclusive tag on him, which means if they can't come to a deal, we're at least going to get something for him, correct?
It also means that even while they are negotiating, that Snead can go out through his agent, of course, he won't himself, and perhaps pursue other deals. And there are thoughts and rumors that the Pittsburgh Steelers have made inquiries around and about. Now, they can't negotiate until next Monday. Monday the 11th is the official, what they call the official tampering day, which means that tampering is legal then. Otherwise, hey, you're tampering with somebody else, and that's fine. Anyway, the Steelers are reported to have been making inquiries about the availability of Snead and whether or not he can fit into their scheme of things, and I'm quite sure he can. What would they be willing to offer? Well, who knows? Kansas City would probably take that offer, I imagine, because they want that cap space, the $20 million, which is essentially what the franchise tag is with Snead, what that would do. So Snead is the object right now, but what about Chris Jones? What's going to happen to him? And therein lies the big puzzle. And I think it is a puzzle. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe in the next several days, today is March the 5th, this is the last day you can apply a franchise tag. That's moot point with the Chiefs. They already have. But then with the negotiating days starting on Monday and the opening of the business year coming up next Wednesday, what does Chris Jones do? Is he allowed to go free agent? Interesting. Really interesting. Because if he does, Mike, he's going to get a pot full of money at least offered to him.
Like I said, that's one of the bad things about that cap increase is that, yeah, we do got a little bit more room to maneuver, but that means other teams have
they also
room
have it
as well. All right, district basketball championships for the ladies were played last night. Who were the victors?
Your alma mater played last night. Played Republic out of Glendale High School.
Dub?
It was a dub, but by 2 points.
Win's a win. Let's go Chiefs.
It was Kickapoo 54, Republic 52. Marshfield and Branson played, and Marshfield got a big win out of that one. This is Class 5, 53-37. And in a sectional, the Class 4 is in the state sectional rounds now. It was Rogersville falling to Aurora by a score of 54-40. Now, the boys' district games and sectional games are coming up tonight as well, and much of the focus is on Glendale High School for the boys' game. And Mike, this is one I don't think I'm going to be able to get out there to see it, but I would like to. The toast of the town this year has been Springfield Central. They have run through everything. They are highly ranked in state Class 6, and they play Kickapoo for the second time this year. Central's already beaten Kickapoo once, beat them in the pit at Central High School. Now, what will happen when they play at Glendale? Because the loser, you're gone, and the winner goes on to the state quarterfinals.
Oh, it's going to be rocking in that court, I'll tell you that much. It's exhibition time, but if the Kansas City Royals were actually competing, they'd be 8-11 in their exhibition games, which is great. But again, it's exhibition. St. Louis Cardinals, how they doing?
Well, the Royals didn't play yesterday in a game, but they are playing well, but they always do.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's not. I don't know if that's a good sign.
When the Cactus League comes around, the Royals are ready to play. When Major League comes around, different story. Cardinals lost yesterday to the Washington Nationals 1-0. The Cardinals are 3-5, 3 wins, 5 losses to date, but it is exhibition. It doesn't count. Interestingly enough, opening day is March 28th. We're closing in on that.
I know, and that's why your mood has just been getting a little bit better every single day. I know what's coming, Ned. You have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.